Well, what's going on, guys? Welcome in. Welcome in. Charles, Byron, Brandon, offhand air gunner. Buddy, I feel stupid. Would you please put your name up there or what you go by, man? Because you're cool and I want to make sure I address you correctly. Joseph's in the house. Good to see y'all. Listen, guys, I got Bobby SHUE with me. Guns and Blades is here. As we go, guys, here's what we're going to do. As we go, my guy Joseph will do some how are you doings and stuff in the comments. If you got a question for myself or Bobby, let us know and we'll get started. Brother, thank you for doing this with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
If you would, Matt, how are you? If you would, Bobby, give us a little background. Thank you, brother.
All right, man. I'm Bobby SHUE. Last year, I had come up with a company called Wildcat Custom Cutlery. I started by like modding knives and things like that. Nothing like, DB Hemlock or anything like that. Like real simple stuff. Like I was rehandling knives and stuff for friends. Then I was like, you know what? I got to design my own knife. So I started getting into that. Got a design through Work Tough gear going on. And what I actually do for my day job, though, is I blast rock for a living. So I use dynamite.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about up front. Tell us what you do up front, and then we'll get into the knife stuff because I think I'm sure it plays hand in hand.
Yeah, well, yeah, I do. I use knives at work every day. So, as a blaster, I mean, you got to cut a lot of like cap cords, and you actually got to slice the dynamite and things like that. But
you actually blow shit up.
I actually blow shit up.
Nice. That's badass, dude. That's awesome. That's awesome. Get scared. Now, did you go to school for that, or is that just been in your family? Is that?
Actually, I learned from my father. Yeah. So what you got to do to get a license here in New York to do that is you have to have an apprenticeship with someone for 3 years. You have to work under someone, and then you go and you take your state test and. There's a lot of like the ATF gets involved and things of that nature.
I'm sure you're handling dynamite. I'd get involved too. Well, man, that's cool. So let's do this. And we'll reference that back. Richard, how are you, buddy? You finally made one on time. And Terry, thank you, buddy. Rusty, how are you? What we'll do, Bobby, throughout the thing, if you see people come in, feel free to say hello. Guys in the chat, y'all know how this works. We're just going to have
seeing chats anywheres, man.
You don't have it. Look to your right. You should have.
Okay. Do I hit comments? Oh, yeah.
Hit comments.
Yes.
I found somebody worse than me on the damn. Dwayne, how are you?
That's me.
No, you're good, brother. That way you can just keep up. If you see anybody come in that I miss, if you'll do that. Guys, what I want to do is Bobby was good enough to not only send me his prototype, Ken, how are you? But let me have it after the review. So I'm going to show you. Now, this was made by Battle Horse. I do this every damn time. This was actually made by Battle Horse. However, this is the one going to Work Tough gear, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about the inspiration behind this, because this is one, this seriously, this isn't because you're on, I've said this a million times. This is a knife I carry a ton, and I love it a ton. Tell me, give me your background on this. Where'd this come from?
I guess I'll start with like the philosophy of use. So like the whole idea behind that knife was kind of the do all woods knife, a belt carry knife that you can do just about anything with in the woods. So, I guess I take a different approach at that than a lot of people do, because what I'm seeing come out a lot is these huge, big fixed blades, that I wouldn't necessarily carry into the woods with me all the time. Here, let me pull out my Bobcat. This prototype was made by Ankara Knife Company. I love this.
I've seen them to respond on some of your stuff. Guns and Blades, he is from New York, brother, up near the Adirondacks. Well, I'm gonna okay, so let's back way up, because you and I had this discussion. For anybody that anybody that would want to put their hands on a bobcat, their best bet is Ancora.
Yes, Ancora Knife Company.
Go through Ancora until we get these out with WTG, and then you'll see them again. Battle Horse made this, which I'm just, dude, I'm a Battle Horse fan. I mean, I just am.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I love LT Wright, but I was going to ask you. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you questions because it's my show, and you answer them the best you can. And if it's like scab, if you don't want to answer something, just say it. Was this made, or this part here, with fleshing in mind?
It was not.
Okay.
Actually, I'll get into it. So there's three things that truly inspired this design, right?
Okay.
And two of those knives are actually made by a fellow Work Tough Gear designer, and it's Chris Tanner. So right here, I have the JX6, right? Made by Bark River. And with this knife, it has that same curvature to the spine. Oop, let me get on screen there.
I do the same thing.
But I like to rest my thumb in that. And I notice, like, when I'm doing like fine carving task with this and this grip, when my thumb's back here, it allows me to put pressure anywheres along the edge of the blade here. And it just gives me so much control no matter what portion of the blade edge I'm using.
So it gives you a good push.
I went for that curve.
See, that's a grip. Damn it. This is where you need Joe. This is a grip, that fencing grip is what I take a lot. And that is, Macho, what's up, buddy? This is a grip, SD Mountain Man. Scott, how are you, bud? Scotty, how are you, buddy? This is a grip. Happy birthday, Scotty. This is a grip a lot, Bobby. I mean, a lot. At work,
yes.
It's just, now, and everybody always says, "Oh, you get your thumb cut." Well, I don't plan on knife fighting anybody. I'll do it like this. But this is, and that's one of the reasons that I love this, because you can strike a ferro rod with it. It's sharp, but it's not uncomfortable.
Yes.
I mean, it's very comfortable. It's there, but it's not like, oh my God, I could do. Well, I don't have anything. Megan don't let me cut in the house, but I could put my thumb here anywhere I want. Right. And I know it's sharp, but I never have to adjust it. Does that make sense? Like if I put my thumb here to push, I don't have to move my thumb because of the 90-degree spine. It's really well done and really well thought out. I like that. Now,
so
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say another portion of that, like one of Chris's designs that inspired me is the Jesmic. So like with this knife, as far as wood carving tasks go, this thing is awesome. Like I love the curve on the belly and the Scandi grind. That just does it for me, man. Yeah,
I'm a fan. I just reviewed that one, actually.
Yeah, I seen that review. Yes. But the one thing that this lacked for me is it's an 1/8 inch thick Scandi grind. Like I say, it's just, it really wasn't capable of chopping at all. I don't know if you've tried any chopping with it. No, it just doesn't even feel like it. You know what I mean? And with the Bobcat, I'll bring the Bobcat back in. I made a 2-inch wide blade. And by bringing this point up here in the front, that was actually inspiration from a pirate sword, like a cutlass. It kind of has that sword look. I noticed, like, when you did the review of this knife, that someone had mentioned that in the comments. I'm like,
there was a couple comments like that, but it's true. It's true.
What was that? It's true. Yeah.
The thing with this though is, and I think we did it. I don't think I know. Didn't we chop a 2x4 with this? We chopped a 2x4 with it. So the thing that I found interesting is this. You've got, what's the blade length? And if I'm shouting, I'm sorry.
It's like 4.5 inches roughly.
Okay, so typically people will go, well, that's not a chopper. I would disagree. And I'm saying a dedicated chopper, right? Is it my first choice? Well, Richard, the guy in the comments, and Garen, how are you? Hit it best. The best knife for the job is the one you got in your hand.
Exactly.
And what I base every demonstration on or every review on is not, I try not to compare. I hate comparisons. I just don't like doing them because if I took your knife, right?
Right.
And I took the knife that you have that was made by Ancora, and I did the same video, it's not going to be the same. You're going to swing. It's just, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But with this knife, and the thing that I love, and I'll show you and we'll get into this, I'll let you get into this, is this handle. So with the 4.5-inch blade, with the curvature, I can drop back, and it's got a lanyard. I could put a pinky lanyard on, drop to there, and do whatever I need to do. I mean, it chopped a 2x4 in half.
Exactly.
So talk to us about the handle a little bit.
Well, I'm glad you said that too. Yeah, when I watched the review that you did, I was like, yeah, he just hit the nail on the head right there, because that's exactly it. Like the handle with this drop down portion right here at the tail, it locks it into your hand. I get a 3-finger grip right down at the bottom of that. I don't know if you guys can see that good.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just get back there, you're locked in, and you can just go to town with this thing. And like I say, with that 2-inch wide blade and a little extra out at the tip, you get just enough weight forwardness to give you some chopping action. You know, it's not a chopper, but it chops.
Well, and again, Carl Ruger, how are you, buddy? Hey, Joe, would you put up a Big Boar's link, please? The thing with this is, and I think this is why I carry this so much. In all honesty, in the knife world, we're in a phase and we're in a time right now where guys with fixed blades, guys in my genre at least, you know, everything's a damn survival situation, or everything's the world's ending, or some dumb shit, right? But the reason I carry this the most is not because the world's ending or I've got to survive. It's one of the most useful blades I've found. And this is something I count too, because I guess just getting into the psychology of like demonstrating knives. Grugsy, what's up? Demonstrating knives, I use different styles, right? Every day. Every day is a different style, which is challenging. This is one of the few knives that made it easy to use. And I say that honestly. I think that's why this is a knife if my son said, Dad, I'm going hunting or fishing or whatever, taking the grand, I would let him take this, because he can do whatever he needs to do with it, and it's easy, right? Joe Scott, Big Bore Williams, please. I'll put it up for you. But
well, I think that kind of goes back to like what Wingman 115 said, you know, a few Work Tough Wednesdays back, is just like, I remember him saying something about like back in the day, you know, it was very common to see everyone with like a 4 to 5-inch blade, man, and that was it. And I agreed with that. That's kind of the ticket for me.
Well, and that's the truth.
I'll carry it.
I mean, that's the truth. Even today, the guy Kirk, I have chatting with Kirk on the channel at least once a month, or probably once every other week now. And his wheelhouse is absolutely 4 to 5 inches, you know, and but that's most of the guys I work with. They're the same way, you know, the same way. So it becomes a very practical blade. Now, talk to me about the knife grind.
The Scandi grind. Well, I like on your version, it's a 12.5 degree Scandi. This one's actually a little less steep. To me, that's a good mix of like sharpness while still being tough enough, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I really love a Scandi grind. It's so much like a chisel, you know. It's got that bite in the wood. It can really chew some material, you know.
Yeah. and it did well. And again, I'll go back to it because I think, and if I'm not mistaken, the 4x4, I did it at work. So that's all pressure treated lumber. Every piece of that's pressure treated lumber. Guys, if you're just coming in, this is Bobby SHUE. He is the designer of the Bobcat that will be coming to Work Tough Gear. Right now, if you wanted one, you can go through Ancora Knives, which they do an amazing job. Now, what would they do if somebody did want one? Do they just ask for?
What you would do is you can go to the website and you can either email Josh or you can hit him up on Facebook Messenger. You could probably even call him if you had that information. I'm not releasing it on here. But you know what I mean? You hit up Josh and you could have anything you wanted made. Like, your dreams are endless with him. He's a very versatile maker. He works with any kind of steel, any kind of material you want, and he would make, this design for you out of whatever steel you wanted, handle material, pin material. He does good work.
Now, let me ask you that. Well, Garen asked a question.
Nope. How
about just a chisel grind?
How about just a chisel grind? It's interesting that you say that, actually. I have been actually working on a chisel ground tipped knife, if that makes sense. I guess it's just the tip would be chisel ground. And I actually, this is something I'm doing actually with Carnivora. And, but the length of the blade would actually have a normal knife edge. And we're playing with that idea.
Okay.
So but yeah, I believe in a chisel grind.
Well, I do. I like Emerson. I'm a big Emerson fan, and I tell you what, I've got the 8, the 7, and the Vindicator, which I can't find, but it's around here somewhere. And what I'll do, Bobby, is I'll use it until I just wear it out, and then I'll send it to DJ and have him go ahead, probably with like a high saber or something like that. But I will say this: I enjoy chisel grinds, and I think the concept you're working with is a good one. And as far as Carnivora goes, or Shade, they do as good as work as anybody. And we've proved that over and over and over again. So I'm excited that you got something going there.
I'm excited to be working with all the people I am, Work Tough Gear, obviously.
That's a big one.
Yeah. Ancora Knife Company, like I say. Yeah. Carnivora, man. It's all good stuff.
Where is Ancora out of?
Georgia.
What part?
I can't remember what town it actually is based on.
That's okay. I grew up there. That's why I was asking. And
gotcha.
College football starts this week. Oh, which reminds me, I've got to call Bill Harsey because he's a big Oregon fan. So that we'll have a thing going. That ought to be good. So we got Ancora. We got Work Tough Gear. We got Carnivora. Is there anybody else you got going?
I thought about submitting a design to Tops, but that's still in the works. I don't know.
You want to get one in the books?
Yeah, I really like their work,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do too. It's hard. It's Guns and Blades, who's been in and out, is a huge Tops guy, man. He does. That dude gets in new Tops every day. To me, it's hard to beat them. I'll tell you this, and everybody that I have on and we talk about it, Tops and Work Tough Gear to me are here and here.
Yep. Absolutely.
I own probably 20 something Work Tough Gears now, and I've got about 10 Tops. The quality with WTG, with the SK85, the quality with the 1095 Guns and Blades. He said, yeah, I am. He's a big Tops guy, but it's the same. And for those guys asking, I get a lot of guys asking, hey, where can we get Work Tough Gear? You go to the site or the adventure team. And I try to push people there as much as I can. Because
I was just going to say too, one thing that actually stands out with Work Tough Gear to me is the community.
Yes.
The people are awesome.
Yes. That's It's more family.
It is, man.
It's more family. So it's when you get in, and I like that Work Tough allows you guys a shot at making a good knife.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They allow you a shot at, hey, and for anybody that thinks that Work Tough ain't good, they can, well,
before
if
Vic
we
Lynn,
haven't prove it.
I was a nobody. I'm probably still a nobody, but at least I got Vic on my side.
If you got Vic, you got a lot. I'm just telling you,
too.
dude. I'm just telling you. That guy, and here's the thing too, and you can kind of, you and I talked about it just for a second. A lot of people get upset with, well, Work Tough don't have a lot of knives in stock. Okay. I understand that. But there's a lot of knife companies right now that don't have a lot of knives in stock, first and foremost. Secondly, they're building something. You know, I love how people think, you know, Vic's just got millions and millions. It's a business and they're building to it, you know.
Right. Absolutely.
So, and that's not a knock on anybody. Hell, I wish they had a lot of their Grugsy with Legion Tactical has a lot of their older stuff, the Red Wolf and a couple more that I wish they would bring back. But there's so many designers now that Mr. Vic, you know,
allowed,
yeah,
took under his wing.
Yeah. And really given a shot.
Yeah.
I got Richard had a question. How do you figure out tough but not brittle?
How do you figure out tough but not brittle? That's all in heat treatment, I would say.
I think so. Is that what you were asking, Richard? Like taking it to its max? Grugsy is a WTG legend. And Brandon, you're right. Richard, put in there if that's what you were talking about. Richard's actually one of my really, really, really good real life friends.
Oh, cool.
And he's in town, which I got to go see him this Labor Day weekend. Yeah, Brandon, without a doubt, man. The fit and finish. Talk to us a little bit, Bobby, about Work Tough's quality, because I don't think people I think people think that it's just like a production center, and that's not the case.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not the case. So, like, for example, like I own a lot of custom knives. I own American made, handmade knives, you know, semi-production. I got everything from the lowest grade to the top notch, you know, custom deal. And like Work Tough to me, just they compete, man. It's like you might not be getting the absolute like prettiest like showroom knife thing, but you're gonna get a knife that works in the field. And they're gorgeous too, you know.
They well, the truth, John from Addicted to Blades, good seeing you, buddy. The truth is, everything they put out is just money. Now, who is that? What is that?
This is a JX Omega.
Okay.
I love this knife. I love this sheath. You got to show it off. If we're talking about quality knives here.
Yeah. I actually did a short with one today. I did one with that and the 5, the V, the JX5 and the Omega.
Yep.
I think now, after just saying what I said about head to head, I think for next, Omar, what's up? I think for next Work Tough Gear Wednesday, I think what I'm going to do is maybe put those two in a chopping thing together. But they're yes, you do, Guns and Blades. You need a Pouzon. How many Work Tough Gear knives do you have, Bobby?
Currently I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I've had more.
What you got?
I got the JXV that I just showed you. Love it. This isn't a Yellow Hawk custom sheath, by the way. This is Doug Wilson's work. Like,
oh, is it really?
Yeah,
bro, he kills it. That knife I got in there that you let me. Holy crap, man!
And he's got a design coming through Work Tough as well. It's called the Backcountry.
Well, I hope he sends it to me. I hope he liked the video. So, you know,
Yes, he did actually. I talked with him about that.
What did he say? Because
Yeah,
honestly, it does matter to me. I didn't know if
it
I
was a
should
good
focus more on the
demonstration of the
sheath.
knife.
Huh?
What was that?
I wanted, it was like, I don't know, man. I wanted to focus on the sheath, but I'm such a knife guy. I wish I'd have went more towards, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like I love the sheath, but at a point with a sheath, you're like, okay, it fits. Okay,
it's a
this is
sheath.
badass. I love this, but I can't do all, you know what I'm saying?
Right. It's a sheath still. Yeah.
But it
They're top notch.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Jason, what's up, buddy? Straight Edge Knives is in the house. Guys, there are a lot of content creators in here. Please subscribe to everybody. That's how we help each other out. Carl Ruger, Matt, all of those. All of those. Glad y'all are in here. So tell me this. You show me, are you willing to show the companion to the Bobcat?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's
Let's see it.
actually the companion to the Puma, it's called. Oh, something's going on here with my screen.
Or you're still there.
Okay, that's good.
Can you give me a drink, baby, please?
Little
And I'll leave you
pop-up
alone.
action. Okay, I'm back. So anyways, this is the Catpanion, it's called. And this is actually, like I say, this is the companion knife to a design I got coming called the Puma, which is it's a much larger knife. And it actually kind of, you know, I took some of the design aspect that Chris had in like that JX Omega or the JXV with like the longer handle and getting that balance point.
Now, do you talk to Chris a good bit?
I have recently, but not like, you know, we're not like close friends or anything like that, but we've been in touch with each other. Definitely.
Good. He's a good dude.
I
haven't talked to him a whole lot, but I've tried to, my goal, and just like having you on here tonight or having Wingman or having whoever, is to help out. If you got a knife design, I want to help people out and I want to put people in. You know what I'm saying?
You're doing it, man.
Can you figure? Somebody said, "Hey, Bobby, tune down that light, the glare, buddy."
Yeah, I couldn't get a good balance of like enough light or too dark.
Yeah, well, I usually do stuff in the back room, and then that's when Joe's on with me because he's the guy who does all that. But that looks better there. But here's the thing: having you on, letting you tell your story, and then when WTG come, and I also plan on doing. I want to focus on the Bobcat for a Work Tough Gear Wednesday as well. I'm just always a little. I'll focus more on you, right? Because I don't want to. I don't know. I don't. You know what? Does it make sense? Like I don't want to. I'll say, hey, this is going to be a Work Tough Gear production, but it's a battle horse blade.
Nice.
And I try to be careful there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, totally.
But it's
totally.
Let me ask you this on this handle. Let me slide this down. So when we get here, the palm swell here, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're smaller here. Was this for flick cuts or was this more for fine work? Because
it was for doing fine work was the intention. I just feel like with this narrow little piece right here, it just, to me, I can really manhandle that, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can get in there and I am not losing control of this doing my final task.
When you hold the knife up for the video screen, people see this and they say that's thin.
Mm-hmm.
That's not thin. It's smaller compared to the palm swell, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I got my hand like that, and I know Matt Pearson, I know Charles, I know some of those guys have bigger hands, but with my hand like that right there, that's 4 fingers, and I've got ample. I could probably go like this, you know, or I could even come up. That's ample handle for anybody. Now, when WTG does this, is everything going to stay the same? I know they'll probably do a G10 handle, SK. What's the steel going to be?
I still don't know about steel. I'm leaning for SK85. It's what they do, you know. I really like the performance from it, and I'd like to see it in that, but we haven't got to that point yet. But as far as the handle goes, we actually did take this portion and we beefed it up just a touch because that is some feedback I got early on. You know, people didn't necessarily like it like this. It is what it is. Like, everyone's got a different opinion there, you know. So we beefed that up a little bit.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say too. I took this particular knife and I pounded it into a tree that went down in my front yard. And I am 6'1", like 270 pounds. And I just turned this thing into like a diving board. There's a video that floats around on Facebook. It's like, it's tough enough. You know what I mean? There's no concern there, but I just wanted to please people, I guess, you know? So we beefed it up a bit. And if you look at the contouring on mine versus yours, could you actually hold yours up just so everyone can see? We're kind of doing a hybrid, me and Vic, you know, between these two profiles. So it's a little beefier right here in this section on yours. So we're going to go a little wider there, but we're going to keep this part right here slim because that helps in locking in right here for the chops.
Yeah.
That's the ticket.
Yeah. And Keith Carpenter just hit it on the nose. And I'll tell you this, I'm no way an expert, but from doing this for 2 years, I can tell you this, it don't make a damn what you do. Somebody's going to bitch about something.
Oh yeah.
And I get it. You want to take, if it's true feedback, take it.
It
if
came
it's
from
just
people
somebody bitching a bitch, you know. But I can tell you this. I've chopped a 2x4. I know I keep mentioning that, but I've got 2 videos with this, a use and a chop. I like this. I really do. I like if I'm going to choke up, I really like it. And I tell you what complements this, guys, if I could find the damn camera. What complements this is that palm swell. That's what complements this. Mm-hmm. So for anybody with huge hands, this palm swell is going to lock you in. And this back here, and a lot of guys with bigger hands sometimes don't like that little curvature, but you've got so much space here. Like I said, if my hand's right here, I've still got another inch. So it's not in the way. The handle to me, that's really what drew me to the knife. And then there's a look. The handle is what I love.
The handle, man, is the most important part of any knife.
Absolutely. 100% agree, man. 100% agree. And I love just the whole thing. Now, what sheath are they going to offer? Is it going to be a Kydex?
I would imagine so. Like I say, we're in the infancy of this.
Early.
I'm still waiting.
For anybody that wants a sheath, Yellow Hawk, Doug Wilson with Yellow Hawk, and it's in the other room, and I might grab it in a minute. But that would be, does he stay, what's his lead time? Do you know?
I believe it's 6 weeks, but Doug's motto is to under promise and over deliver. Gotcha. So, you know, you're usually getting it within a month.
Gotcha. That's not bad. Do you have to send a knife to him or anything like that?
A lot of the times, yeah. So like, okay. You know, if you're doing something like Ankara or like Bark River where the knives are handmade, yeah, he pretty much needs your knife. If there's something like production, like a Work Tough gear, and he has the knife already, then you shouldn't have to send him your blade.
Now, what the knife he's doing, is it like the Delta Whiskey? that I
Infinity.
demonstrated.
It's a lot like that one. Is that what you were going to ask? If it's
That's what
similar
I'm
to?
asking. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is. It's a larger knife than that. Actually, it's the Delta Whiskey Backcountry. Similar shape. You know, it's got like that same tip. I love the way that thing stabbed in your video, man.
Oh yeah. It did. It really did. Well, I love the knife.
I
To
was
me,
surprised.
to me, and I'll say this, it's reminiscent to the Bobcat in that it's versatile. And that's the thing right here that I would praise about this knife. And it's not because I say this a lot. This is in the car a lot. This is on my hip on the weekends a lot because of the versatility. See, when I do my demonstrations and run through the swamp and all that shit, people see about half. Timbo, what's up? You know, I always have some kind of knife, usually kind of back behind me, but I make sure I have a blade, and it's usually this one.
Sweet.
Even if you don't see it, it's usually this one close to me if I have to do something. If I had to build something, this would be the knife. And we'll do that this fall. We'll set up a camp and use this. But you can baton with this thing. It chops. I love the slicing. I love that the handle is what makes it so damn versatile. You can do that. You know what I'm saying? For some draws. There's some
Absolutely.
things you can do with the draw that I like. And for some of you hunters, for like fleshing, you can sharpen this up, take a file, and make that a good fleshing tool. I think, I'm pretty sure. Put your thumb on the back. So overall, man, I like it too because it's got, now is this a modified clip?
Yeah, I guess that's what I would call it, essentially.
Is
I
that
don't even know what I would call it, to be honest with you. I haven't really thought about that. But
But did
essentially,
the tip have a lot to do with the design?
well, sure, absolutely. I mean, really the only thing that I took into account when making that tip, though, is I already had in mind like my blade shape, right? I wanted the curve in the spine. I wanted the curve to the blade. I knew how wide I wanted to go. And the only thing that was important for me after that was that the tip, for one, had strength. Need to have that. And for two, that it was essentially center line with the handle.
Okay.
For, drilling holes and doing things of that nature.
Now give me your overall knife philosophy. Not just for the Bobcat, the Danimal, what's up, buddy? Not just for the Bobcat, but anything you design. Give me 2 or 3 components that it has to have. Has to have.
Number one, uniqueness.
Okay.
I really, I strive for people to look at my blades and go, man, that is different. Whether they mean it in a good or a bad way. I take it as a compliment. It should perform in the woods for me. I really, that's like my bread and butter. Like, I love camping. I love hiking. I got knives in the woods all the time.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. I mean, that's not necessarily true, though, I guess, either for every knife. I mean, like, I got a fighting knife coming, through Carnivora, and
I'm intrigued.
So I shouldn't say that that's like my end all be all criteria, but like I want it to perform in the woods.
Yeah,
almost always.
I think that's important, and I say it a lot on the channel, and I'll be the first to say, with a lot of things, I love a fighting knife. I just do. I love the heads up. I like the look. I like combat utility knives. I always have. But the utility in the knife is more important than the combat of the knife. For me.
Most of us. Right.
If we're, again, the world's not ending, right? And here's the deal, people, and I'd say this and then we'll move on because it wears me out. But you know, everybody's if shit did happen, there'd be 25 million people in the woods.
No
Half
doubt.
of them never walked out, and most of them got bags sitting by the door that they couldn't. They don't know how to unzip. Most, you know, and I am making a point with that. Your knife is easy to use, so for some of the morons that'll probably die quickly, they would do well to have your knife because it's easy.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Timbo 437 is a good dude.
Timbo.
And he has one of the best knife collections, man. There's a lot of guys. I'm sitting here as we're talking about knives. I'm kind of looking over. There's a lot of guys with just crazy. Now, if the world ended, I'm going to Richard's house because he's built for it. Trust me. But the thing with the knife, with the fighting knife, let's get back to that kind of. I just love the aesthetics.
Yeah. I do too.
I like the way it looks, but it's got to be able to function. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? Because if I like a knife, and I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but if I'm going in the woods and I don't carry a knife for self-defense. I just don't. So for me, carrying a fighting knife, if it doesn't do anything else but a fighter. Now, I'll say this. When I worked downtown and I worked late nights and I worked overnights, I absolutely had one designed for that in mind. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? I'd have probably got killed because I don't know how the hell to knife fight. I've been stabbed. That doesn't qualify you. People buy this shit thinking, and let me tell you this: when you get your fighter, make sure it comes my way. We'll sell a ton of them. That way, when people get killed, you'll be like, "Hey, they have my knife on them." But I know with you, just through the conversations we've had, you may be making a fighter, but there's going to be some utilitarian there.
Absolutely. It's the only way to be, man. It's like you say.
I mean, truthfully, and guys, listen, I'll tell y'all this, just so everybody knows I'm not full of shit. Tom, how are you? And everybody, see, because sometimes when I have guests on, people are like, oh, if I was going to design a knife, I'm not saying I have or haven't, I would probably talk to Bobby about it. And we might have already. We just don't know yet.
We might have.
We may have discussed it. So let me bring it all back to that. And let me add some legitimacy to this conversation and how much I do really, really like this knife. If Old Scab was going to have any input, and I think that's my best terminology, input on a knife.
I love input.
It would be with Bobby. Yeah, I promise you, Kongs and Bases, if I design a knife, you'll be able to defend yourself. Rusty, thank you for coming in, man. Always appreciate you. Rusty's one of them guys with a hellacious collection. Hellacious. I mean, there's so many guys in the chat, man, who sent me stuff. And as a matter of fact, Grubbs from Legion Tactical, I used his knife as a comparison to Doug's knife on size-wise. When I did the size comparison up front, that was Gruggsy's knife. So that was perfect. And I didn't know the that's an LT Wright. I didn't know about the Ultrex Sure Touch. Now, have you talked to them at all?
I did actually go to LT with the Bobcat for prototyping, and they had so much going on at the time. I mean, I wasn't even really considered. I was welcomed home with Vic. I didn't have that at LT. But
but you know what? Things happen for a reason.
Absolutely.
I'm a firm believer. Mark, how are you, buddy? I'm a firm believer in that. Water to Phil, what's up, brother? I'm enjoying your stuff. Everything happens for a reason. And I'll be honest with you, I love the battle horse stuff. I just do.
Me too.
You know, so it's cool. Tell me this. We'll go out another 10, 15 minutes and we'll wrap this thing up. Tell me this. If you were going to make a big chopper, would you? Well, no. We'll discuss that in a minute. The Bobcat. Okay. Talk to me about you naming knives, because there's a theme there.
Okay, yeah. So It's Wildcat Custom Cutlery. Everything is named after a wild cat or something pertaining to cats. So, like, we have the bobcat, or what was it I showed you here just a little bit ago? We're working on the cat panion. The one that I'm doing with Don and Shaney is fucking the Hellcat. I had to think about it. I got so many designs going, man.
That's awesome, man.
But yeah, everything is kitty oriented.
Where does that come from?
Just a love of cats, man. I'm like a crazy cat lady.
That's totally understand. Ken, the backyard knife dude, is too. Now, I always like hearing people's story. You know, like we had when I had Wingman on, and we discussed the Laguna. You know,
yep.
And then he was funny because I guess he's been back in Maine this week, and he posted a bunch of pics. You know, I like to hear where people come up with names of their knives, because I think it's a big part of the personality of a knife.
It is.
You know, it's like Keith. It's like Keith today, you know, with the famine. I love that, you know. So that's why I was curious as to where it comes from.
I love the kitties.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't a thing. I've got dogs everywhere, and I'm a dogs fan, but cat, any kind of animal, I'm a hope. Brandon, you didn't miss a whole lot, and thank you for posting on Work Tough Gear Wednesdays. Man, I'm trying to get that to take off. And it seems like we're working. Got a lot of folks participating there, and I'm enjoying that. Yeah, we'll get it going. Eventually, I'm hoping it takes off so much it's just Work Tough Gear Wednesday and not Choir Boys, you know, because it's worth it to me. But it's worth it. Dude, I'm exhausted. I ain't going to lie, man. I put out 2 long-form videos today, 10 shorts, 4 or 5 reels. We're doing a live, which thank you again, man. These I enjoy. Gargoyles Blades, how are you, buddy? I enjoy this. I enjoy this format. I enjoy shooting the shit with people.
I'm having a good time.
That I love. Well, that's what I love about Work Tough Gear. You guys are accessible. The designers are accessible. And for any of you guys who are on Facebook, I say this, I feel like tattooing it on my damn forehead. Work Tough Gear Adventure Team. Because I get people, man, Work Tough Gear is always sold out. Well, go to the Adventure Team on Facebook. 1, it's family oriented. 2, well, not family oriented. I mean, you can be who you want, but I'm saying it's like a family. How the hell does somebody grab you a 9-inch Pouzon, my boy? Guns and Blades. I'll see if Mr. Vic has any left. But you can go there too and get a lot of secondary. There's a lot of guys on Work Tough Gear Adventure Team who sell their Work Tough Gear stuff, and it all looks mint. And most of the time they're trying for something else. That's why I encourage people, you know, I've seen probably 4 or 5 Pouzons on there for sale, good pricing. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, you don't get any real negative. I know Zeke and them, I know Zeke's an admin, I know Dave's an admin, and I know they don't put up with a whole lot of that.
How could you sell something like this?
That's so dope, man. I love mine. Dude, I love it. Love mine. That's one of the best. That's honest to God. That's one of the best buoys ever made, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Dave Pouzon's buoy. I don't give a shit. And I love all knives. I don't, and somebody will scab compare it. You can't. You can't, I'll, like with you, right? When you bring that, when the Hellcat comes out, I'll probably do a video with the Bobcat and the Hellcat. Well, I can do that. You're the same designer. You know what I'm saying? You're the same designer. It's like Tanner, same designer. I can compare those, but you can't compare from company to company. There are similarities with tops, but it's hard to, you know what I'm saying?
I do, yeah.
When you start talking different designers, you can't do it because different designers have different philosophies and are different sizes.
That's what makes the knife world go around, man.
And you're damn right. But people need to, one thing that irritates the shit out of me is to watch somebody's video and then read a comment. I got to where I just quit reading comments, man. But seriously, because the damn designer could be 5'5" and 135 pounds, and he's making a knife. I don't give a shit who it is. A guy 5, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm 5'9" on a good day. I'm 280 pounds. But my point is, knife designers that I've seen, especially in this day and age, they're going to design a knife that's built more around them.
Absolutely.
And they should. But it's like people in the comments, well, that knife looks small. Well, a dwarf's designing. I mean, have some common sense. You know what I'm saying? Or the Jolly Green Giant designs a knife, and it's like, that's where I have a problem with certain people when they come on and they blast a certain knife. Look, dude, God made your hands 12 foot bigger than everybody else. That's not the rest of the world. Does that make sense? I know I'm rambling. I'm tired. But
hey, man, I agree with you.
I mean, that's it. And I love all knife creators. I do, because to get on this thing, get on this sumbitch and put yourself out there. I can tell you this. I went last night, Bobby, and I wasn't talking about you, Charles. But it's true, because Charles is a bigger guy, right? And he's got an amazing channel where he does a lot of modifications, right? What I was saying, Charles, is I have no problem. Like when certain knives don't fit you, it's with people who start ripping something. It's like, dude, put some thought into it. I'm blessed because I'm like right in that middle category where most knife fit me pretty good. I'm blessed, you know? But my thing is with knives, and like with your knife, with the Bobcat and with the companion cat or the cat companion and the Hellcat, I know the handles are going to be spot on. And I think that clears and cares for a lot of things. There's a couple guys that design for Work Tough Gear. And I love this because I love the diversity. Like, you're a handle guy. Zeke Minacho is a handle guy. But you got some guys in there that are blade guys.
Sure.
Who the philosophy is, hey, I'd like a little longer blade and a little shorter handle. That's not for me. But I love their stuff. Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense, man. I feel the same way. It's just, yeah, maybe not my cup of tea, but the thing is, man, is that's the spice to the recipe, man. You know,
yeah,
having
that's
different
what makes
things.
it go round.
Yeah.
Matt, good night, buddy. I love you. I appreciate you coming in.
I think that's
good to see your fire.
I think that's why Work Tough Gear is so successful, you know, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It gives you a diverse, and for guys in the chat, and we'll go about 5 more minutes, but for guys in the chat, a lot because of my channel, Work Tough Gear has a lot more than big choppers. There are a lot of pocket fixed blades that I love. There's a lot, and that's why I like Legion Tactical. Exactly. Dude, please don't show that because I'm missing mine so bad.
Oh, I
just sent mine to DJ. That's my favorite.
That's your favorite Work Tough Gear?
If I have that in my pocket and this Bobcat, again, honestly, if somebody says, Scab, you get 3 knives, that's it. And they could all Work Tough Gear. Let's keep it in that realm. I would take the Bobcat. I would take the Nomad EDC, right? Nomad would be my folder, pocket fixed blade type deal. Bobcat would be my belt knife. And then just for a straight cutter, straight up chopper, that's where it gets more difficult for me. But I'd have to go with the proper chopper.
Yes, right? Absolutely.
Because I did a little short today. That proper chopper, man, went through a pressure treated 4x4 from start to finish was 27 seconds. That's insane, dude. For a 4x4 straight chopping, right? That's insane. There's nothing that I've come across as far as a dedicated chopper.
I miss mine.
What, you didn't sell it, did you?
I did. Stupid.
Well, don't watch my short then, because you'll miss it. It's just, man, it's just one of them days. It's just one of them. I'm telling you, to break that out, when you break that out, it's honest to God not fair. It's just really not. To me, it's one of the best. It is the best. Let me change that. It is the best production made chopper on the market. I don't think you can beat it. Just chopping. No. I'm not talking about.
Right.
I'm talking about chopping, keeping it to a point. I would have that forest trail's hard to beat. Now, Grugsy, keep it in the realm of WTG and tell me what 3 you would take. And that Pouzon 9, you can't go wrong with that. Okay, EDC for fun. My third, it would be my Nomad EDC. Bobby, show yours again. Mine's at DJ's getting. So it'd be my Nomad EDC. It would be my Bobcat. And it would be my proper chopper.
All right. I'm going to try this too, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to include the Bobcat, though. I just feel like that's cheating. But I'm probably going to agree with you. Like small knife, Nomad EDC. I love the belly to this blade. I love everything about this one. If I go more mid-size and I'm not choosing the Bobcat, I think I'm going to go Blackout.
Really?
And then, yeah, I love the Blackout.
That's a hot one. That's a hot one. Now, Grugsy put up these 3. Richard, have a good one, Bo. I'll call you Friday. I loved all 3 of these. I like Vic's designs, man. I wish, and I know he's trying to help folks out, and I want everybody to get their stuff out, but I wish he'd sneak a couple runs of his stuff back in there, man, because that Tayal, that A-Tayal, Lord, those are hard to beat. Those are hard.
Vic's a really good knife designer, man.
He really is.
It almost seems like he brushes himself under the rug for us.
And he shouldn't. I mean,
no.
I'm glad he does to get your stuff out there. And I'm glad that as he grows, guys, y'all check out Jason, Straight Edge Knives. Please subscribe to him. Underrated channel. His designs are highly functional. Highly functional. And to me, like, I'll say this, I got started with Work Tough Gear with
Tayal, right?
I want to say the Mountain Bushman. I think it was the Mountain Bushman or the Tayal. No, the Tayal started it. And it was Kirk at work. He brings in a Tayal and he's like, dude, check this out. He bought that one and he bought the mini Tayal. And this was like first starting to, I mean, I don't think I was 4 months into the channel. And then he brought in a Mountain Bushman, right?
Yeah.
And all 3 of those, to my knowledge, are Vic's designs, right?
I think some of those are up for grabs on the site right now too.
Are they really?
The Mountain Bushman, yeah.
Those that's one that you need to get. Charles, thank you, brother. Jerbs, how are you, buddy? That's one. I have a certain top 3, right? But Vic's in that top 5. I'm just going to tell you, because it's just crazy. Yes, you did, Timbo. And I want to acknowledge that, Bobby, if you'll indulge me for 1 second. We had a veterans raffle a couple months ago. One of the Mount Lagunas, a Mount Laguna was raffled off, and Timbo 437 gave me that. John Heffron actually sent me this one, but Timbo did give me a Mount Laguna, and I love this knife. I really do. I'll say this for the Laguna. It's way more robust than people think. Way more robust than people think. And I'm thinking about, I'm carrying it every day right now.
How
and I'm going
thick
to
is
show
that?
y'all something.
Like
What's
3/16, isn't it? It's a
Yes.
pretty thick little puppy.
Yes. Of course, it's,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, but you don't realize that. You don't
Right.
realize how thick that damn thing is, right?
It's tough.
Well, this one ain't, this is what, an eighth?
That's 5/32.
5/32. So it's not much under. But what my
3/16.
point with the Laguna was this. I think what I'm gonna do is use this until it's just dull as shit, and then change the blade profile, go with a thinner blade profile, because if it's in my pocket, it's like a work knife. So I think I want a little something thinner to do more cutting with, more slicing with, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Yep.
All right, Bobby. Well, listen, brother, let's start bringing this thing to a close. And that happens, Timbo. I think you would like the Timbo. I know you'd like this Bobcat, and I think you'd like the Nomad EDC. Bobby, give us some final thoughts here, man, as we go out on the things you got coming up, what you're looking forward to, that kind of thing.
All right, man. I'm really looking forward to keeping the ball rolling, with all these people that I am working with already, Work Tough Gear and Kura. Just, I guess, like somewheres I see myself headed is just, I'm going to be bigger in this knife world. I think more people are going to recognize me, and they're going to see some unique things come from me.
We're excited. We had a question from Byron. What's your third choice?
Probably that JX Omega. Whoop. This would be the big one. Okay. Not for its pure chopping capability, but for the versatility.
Yeah. That is a versatile, and I don't care what anybody says. That one and the 5, is it JX5 or JXV?
JXV. The JX5 was actually a Bark River knife, I guess.
Okay. But those are two highly versatile knives, and I like the one you have. I've got one. I did a little short with it today. I just love the damn thing. It is a versatile knife. He made it to be versatile. Well, man, look, hang out with me for a minute for when I end the live. I'm looking forward to what you got coming. I'm excited about it, man. And again, thank you for the Bobcat. I love this knife.
No problem.
Guys,
thanks for having me y'all.
Absolutely, dude. We'll do it again. This is the Bobcat. Thank you, Guns and Blades. Good night, Ken. Good night, Tom. Good night, Timbo. Good night, Joe. Good night, Jerbs. Good night, Charles. Man, I love y'all. Thank y'all for spending time with me. Darren, have a good night. We'll see y'all on the next one. We gone, son. Always. I got to end it. I'm still live, so.